Ready to start ripping? What do we do with these nails?
We're gonna have to try to keep them together. Well, welcome back everybody. We're on top of the chicken coop roof, and the plan was all along to replace the roof on this thing. It is just falling apart, but we're doing it now instead of later because we want to protect all the work we've done on the inside. Luckily, I do have some roofing experience. For one day when I was 14, I worked for my uncle and he's a roofer, so I know how to throw shingles off a roof. But the way this roof was set up is it has like roofing shingle material, but it comes in a roll. So they were just kind of rolled on the roof. There's no paper down underneath it, anything like that. And the wind ripped up half of it. So half of it was just plywood. So the plan is we're gonna take all the old roofing off, and then we're gonna remove as many of the roofing nails as we can. The rest we're just gonna leave in there. And then we're gonna be putting down some ice and water shield to protect everything. And then we're going with brown metal roofing.
I'd offer to do it, but I'm afraid of heights. Okay, I'll keep ripping up while you do that.
Okay, I'll be right back. See, all these nails just come out like nobody's business.
All in all, it's going pretty good. There is a section that is horrendously glued down, which is making life tricky. I'm not a huge fan of heights, so this is not my cup of tea, but the view up here is amazing. I'm excited we're replacing the roof. We like metal roofing, and if we have a summer like we had last year where it just rained, I'm glad that we're gonna get it done now instead of later.
Not even an inch there, so these are all going to be like awkwardly. Our roofing's 16 feet, but we want to cut some of this off, and we want like what, a 2-inch. The roofing material removal went pretty good, except for one piece that it looks like when they installed it, it kind of cracked, so they threw a bunch of tar down and that thing is stuck to the roof. We couldn't get it up, so that's gonna stay on there. But the shed roof that we're working with is 28 feet this way and 16 feet this way. We bought 16-foot roofing panels, which is awesome, but we are actually gonna be cutting about 5 inches off of the roof on this section over here. We're gonna be adding some trim on the front and the back, so that's 3 inches, and then we want a 2-inch overhang on the metal roof on this back side, which is kind of nice because the roof was leaking. We had snow accumulating on this side for years and years, and it was kind of sitting here and rotting away the roof. So we're gonna get rid of some of that bad roof. We're gonna take our chalk line, we're gonna measure up 5 inches, and we're gonna run a nice straight line all the way across, and we'll start cutting the roof. All right. Okay, let it roll.
Okay.
That worked pretty good. Long cut.
I wish I was stronger.
Can you grab one down lower?
Yeah, Okay.
Okay, right?
Ready.
Coming. That's probably good.
Can you reach? Yeah, you want to be able to reach this?
I might have to go down.
They do come in pretty
Take
early.
a day trip, give me some sushi. What am I hitting, a nail or something here? Oh, I didn't cut that one.
I was wondering why it was stuck up there like that.
I skipped one.
Okay, so this is what we're working with. We got rid of the weathered, we'll call it, plywood, and some of the ends of the rafters. I don't really know why they had such a long overhang on this side versus the other side. If I were to do it, I probably would have made it a little more even. I must have had a plan for that, but this is going to work out great for our roofing. And I don't know the correct term for it, but we're going to be putting up that trim or eave, the piece on the end. But first, we're going to take a lunch break, and then we'll get back at it. All that wood's still good in there. There's some nails in this. I'm going to stand one lower, and then I'll go up higher.
How much of an overhang do you want on this side? Like maybe an inch? Weigh about a foot.
Is that good?
The trim is up. It went okay. We ran into a couple of issues. We ended up using some of the older wood that was kind of left of this cabin. It might have been for that shed originally. We used some of that on the lower side. It seemed to fit a little bit better, and that was a 1x8. So we got 1x8s on the back, 2x8s on the front. We're moving on to the roof, and we have done quite a bit of metal roofing, mostly just on like sheds and things like that in our chicken coop. And we usually just put it directly down on either plywood, or we'll put it down on studs and like 1x4s running the opposite direction. This one, we wanted it sealed up a little bit better, so we're gonna do a roof underlayment. And this was recommended to us by the local hardware store, and this is called Malarkey 401 Arctic Seal, and it's a self-adhering underlayment. It's for ice and water protection. So basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna do like a shingle effect on this on the roof. We're gonna start at the bottom, roll it all the way across, layer up until we get all the way to the top, and then we'll be able to put our metal roofing directly on top of this. And this is really cool too, because when you screw into this, it'll actually seal around your little screw holes. So we're gonna get these 3 rolls hauled up the ladder, and they're pretty heavy.
You're gonna need to nail it down very often.
I'm just nailing it to kind of hold it.
Okay.
So this stuff's pretty cool. It's got a slit down the middle. So basically you pull one piece of plastic out, that's half of it. You can kind of stick it down, and then we put a few nails along the top just to make sure it was holding there. The adhesive, I think it needs to be really warm for it to work really good. It is working pretty good, but I think it's about 50 degrees right now. And then you just pull the bottom piece of plastic off. That's it. We gotta do another layer, and we're gonna overlap them. I tried to look up online how far to overlap these. I didn't actually find the exact measurement, but I'm guessing it's one of these yellow lines. So we'll probably overlap it to that second yellow line. That's about 4 inches, and we'll just keep working our way up. Make sure I don't roll off the back.
Okay, that's a good idea. Would you overlap them?
Yeah, I'm gonna overlap them. Probably a little bit more actually. Right there.
It's scary right there because it sinks a little. We finished, and it looks awesome. It was probably the easiest thing that Eric and I have like ever done. So we're moving on to metal roofing. We're at like 16 hours of daylight, maybe even more, and it's a beautiful day, so we can work into the evening. He's got to MacGyver something with the tractor to get like our metal shingles up here, and I think we're gonna like pre-drill the holes to make everyone's life easier. Okay, do we need this? Drill holes. That was wild. What do you think? Right there.
You straight?
Yep, I am straight.
So then we're gonna go right in the center of that one. Oh no, broke my drill bit.
That's good?
that'll work?
I really don't see why not.
Should I get up there and drive one out and see if it works?
I think it'll work, hon. 2 people should be able to do it then.
Oh yeah. Works. I think we could probably just start laying them and grabbing them as we go, maybe.
See, let me get on that side, that way you can push to 16 feet.
So as you stand on it right here,
Make sure
you
it's
flatten it that way
as you go.
So what I do is I go here. See, I stand here.
Yeah.
Screw it.
I'm too afraid of heights.
You're a foreman. You're not a laborer.
I am a laborer.
Screw this screw right here. We slice this one right here all the way and put it underneath.
Oh.
It'll have a ridge and then a ridge, but it'll push it over about 1.5 inches. Oh my gosh, life on the edge. Man, we got a lot accomplished today.
Drip edge though? Or no go on the drip edge?
Yeah, you can go grab it real quick and put it up. You don't even have to cut anything, you just overlap them and run the drip edge. Okay. Okay, babe, you gotta have to get close to the edge here.
Yeah, I can do that. I'm liking the brown color. Do you just have it lined up with the other one?
Front.
Can you get the front from here? Okay. Just not good anymore, you know. I was looking at the red shovel wondering
What it was?
like what it was. It didn't look very sharp. We finished! Tomorrow, well maybe not tomorrow, but we are gonna pick up with another really big thing. We're gonna be doing full insulation on the chicken coop.
So that's what's next, huh? Yeah, we picked up fiberglass insulation, R21 for the walls, and I believe R30 for the ceiling, and we're also been doing a vapor barrier on the inside, so that's gonna be fun.
And I think in the future we're probably going to, when we move the chicken coop, put some maybe like foam board underneath, but we're not there yet. So this looks fantastic.
Love the brown.
It's probably like 6 o'clock.
No, it's like 8 o'clock.
Oh.
It was 7 an hour ago.
Dang, I thought we worked faster than that. So I was thinking, yeah, it gives it more grip. I was thinking if you do something for like the sawmill, hun, would you do a little more width to account for that? All that ground showing. I was out with the bees and it's all, I don't know if I told you, that's all grass.
I mean, never know. Oh my God, you hear that?
That's
You're crazy.
There was an actual chicken earthquake. And I was gonna ask you, I was like, did you feel the earthquake? But then I realized you didn't say anything. I realized it was just the chickens.
All right, we got a couple loud chickens, a absolutely beautiful day outside, and it's a big day today. It is rafter vents and insulation. Let's get going. Let's see. Oh yeah, let's see. Go like that.
How many do you have to do?
How many do we have to do?
Yeah.
Like 60. This is awesome. So we have a fully insulated chicken coop now. I guess minus the floor, but we're pretty proud of ourselves. This is our first time doing insulation, and it all started yesterday. And we started with the rafter vents, and those use like the 2-inch holes that we did in the blocking. They all kind of work together, and that way, as the hot air rises, the air can actually travel through the roof on the low side. It won't go through the insulation. It has about a 2-inch gap, and then it goes out that top side. So that's like a channel up in the roof, and we have them in every single one of these rafters. I think we used like over 50 of them, and we stapled them all in there. That took a little while. Then I think the hardest part was that roof insulation. So we used R30 rolls of the insulation, and we held that up with this insulation wire, which worked really well. But that was really hard to get up there, and it was a really hot day. At least hot for us. It was like 55 degrees, and we had all this heavy clothes on to protect ourselves from the insulation, so we were kind of dying up there. And then this morning we were well rested. We got in here and we tackled this wall insulation like just a breeze. So we used R21 for the walls, and this was a little bit different. It's called bats. So they're like these big sections. These were just going up super fast. They have like a vapor barrier on one side, and we kind of stapled some in, but most of them just fit right between our studs. Arielle was kind of doing the piecing together parts. I was just doing like the full strips, and I'm pretty sure that all these walls took us about the same amount of time as it took us to do the whole entire roof. At this point, like I said, we are done with the insulation for now, and we got a lot of light left in the day. We're going to continue on.
We got everything we need. We have our 6mm plastic sheeting. We have some acoustical sealant. That's what's widely accepted to use. And we have some tape. This is like a special tape that you can tape the plastic sheeting if you punch a little hole in there on accident. This may be kind of tricky, so we're both going to be hands-on for this. We are putting up vapor barrier for one main reason. Well, it's two actually. Most folks, you don't use vapor barrier anymore, but we are in Alaska and it is a very cold climate. This particular area is extremely cold, and our chickens are going to be kept in this coop. They are also going to be putting off a lot of moisture, and we plan to heat it. The faced insulation is like it's called a vapor or a water retarder, but it's not an actual true vapor barrier like this plastic sheeting. So when we're heating it this winter, when the chickens are, you know, going to the bathroom in here and there's moisture in that and they're breathing, it's going to be a lot of moisture in here, and it's going to condense on the wall somewhere because the outside is very cold. So this plastic sheeting will make it so it doesn't travel through the wall and get our insulation wet. That's the gist of it. So we're gonna give it a go and see how it goes up.
Glue it at the top plate, and now let's overlap it. That's 10 feet tall. I say we just leave it at 10 feet for now, because that's a 10-foot wall. It'll cover that whole wall. This is an 8-foot wall.
Okay, so you can cut it later. I could roll out the whole way, pretty much like half of the wall.
This is cool because we're gonna get a lot of chicken.
Okay, so what we'll do then is we'll overlap it just a little, and then what do you want to do? I don't even know if I may just put one for like, just to help hold it, but I think we're going to be sealing. Does it come out pretty quick or no? On the corner, we'll start underneath it, or whatever, we can both.
So far so good. So what we're trying to do is actually seal this thing tight. That's why we're using this acoustical sealant stuff, and this stuff is actually meant for like sound dampening, but we're using it for this. Apparently this is what people use, and I think it doesn't actually dry ever. It just stays kind of tacky like that. So we're going along, and what we're doing is we're stapling into where we put the acoustical sealant. That way it kind of seals around the staple, and then if we have any holes, we're just trying to be really careful and we're trying to tape it. We're kind of trying to leave it a little baggy in the corners. That way when we put our sheathing over it, we're not going to be ripping it, but it's going pretty good. We're getting there on the walls, the ceiling. We're not looking forward to. Like strong smelling or something, huh?
Oh yeah, it is. That's what it smells. Do you think this one needs any acoustic in the middle, like halfway?
Okay,
Save that for...
Header's already got some.
It does. covered up anyway, so. Okay, that's as far as I take you. Yours is a little more rumply, so you may have some. Okay, we are calling it quits for the night. What I thought was going to be a really nice day turned into a nightmare. That acoustic sealant gets everywhere. And we're a little bit short on supplies, so we're trying to figure out what we're going to do. We're going to call it quits for the day. The chickens need to come back in and sleep, unfortunately. And I'm hoping we get this finished tomorrow. We pretty much got everything up. Just need to seal some of it, and then we can get started on our sheathing on the inside. Hopefully we get there. Oh, you may poke the wall. Here, let me move the light for you. Oh, that'll work. Yeah, that'll just have to do. We got... Do I get it?
54. These ones look good on here.
It's all coming together in here. A lot of work has went into this. We came back out this morning, finished the vapor barrier on the ceiling. It's not super pretty, but I think we did a really good job sealing it off. That acoustic sealant, you have to do like multiple layers if you have more than one poly that you're overlapping. And then we taped some of the seams up too, so I think it looks awesome. We are moving on, or have already got the window trim assessed. This property came with quite a bit of just extra lumber, and the lumber is from a sawmill, so it's not actually quite true lumber, and it's also not dimensional. It's a little in between. The whole structure is built from that. It's a 20 by 12, and it is built really well. It's a very solid structure. We're going to be putting up the OSB. We have all 7/16. We even use that on the floor. The floor was already really solid, just had some cracks, so that's what we're working on next. Here we go. Oh man, look at that.
I can hit this corner and somewhere down here. Can't keep up with you. Good job, good job. Slide her in, Perfect. Perfect. Good job. Oh yeah. Oh, there though. Well, there we go. Just like that, we have one wall of our OSB up. I guess this is called interior sheathing. This is what we're going to be using on the inside of the coop. This is going to be the final surface. And we've decided to kind of put these up. I don't know if it's backwards or not, but we got the glossy side on the inside because that side is a lot easier to paint. If you try to paint the rough side, it just like keeps soaking up the paint and it's really hard. So this was the easiest wall. We only had to take an inch out of each one of these and a couple cuts on this one. It's looking good. I think we'll probably, I don't know what we're doing, but we're going to keep working our way around.
I think it looks great.
You're the eyes, baby. Woo!
Where's the next one? Right there?
Yep. ¿Dónde está la escuela?
What?
Huh?
What'd you say?
Well, that is beautiful. fully.
Completely hosing down with an air compressor.
Understand?
I don't know whether I want to say poor us or poor chickens. Chickens have been having a really rough time with this whole experience. I think it'd be way more ideal to just not have them when we were doing this. And Eric and I have both been feeling a little under the weather this week, so we got it done though. We got everything with the ceiling done.
We did, yeah. Chickens are weirdos, and that's probably been the hardest part about this build or revamp is doing it with the chickens. Because we put in that brand new floor, and then they were in there, and they poop all over the place, and you got to put everything in there for them, straw, food, and then you got to bring everything out, kick the chickens out. They're trying to come in, they're squawking. It's been crazy.
Our chickens won't roost on just like the ground. They won't sit on the ground. They have to. They will find somewhere to roost if you don't provide them something.
Yes.
So they're going. It's like 9 o'clock, and they're going to bed.
Today went really well. It was time-consuming work. There's a lot of cuts. A lot of intricate cuts we had to make with all that sheeting to get up. We got all 4 walls done today, which was awesome. I'm pretty proud of us for doing that. We didn't get the ceiling done, but I feel like the ceiling is going to be pretty easy. It's going to be mostly just full sheets of plywood going up there.
I'm extremely proud of us too. I was going to say, I think this whole thing, some of it's new to us, some of it we've done before, but it's a lot of work and we're just winging it. And I think it's turning out absolutely awesome. I'm happy to be building again. We've been lucky to like explore Alaska for the last few years, and now we're like fully. We haven't even finished this chicken coop, obviously. There's a lot more to do.
And I think it's coming together pretty good. One thing we have both noticed is right after we put that insulation in, not even the walls, but just the roof, it made just a huge difference in keeping the coop cooler on these hot days that we've been having.
We had to take off for a few days and we had the chickens locked in. This was after we put the windows in, and it was actually pretty wildly hot for just being 40s, in the 40s during the day.
Yeah, those windows kind of turned it into like a greenhouse.
Yeah, and so you may be wondering why we're insulating. Our coop back home is not, at our old home is not insulated, and so like this time around we're just doing it so differently. You can tell we're really sealing it, and the reason is just because we want to. Chickens don't have to be kept warm, they don't have to be insulated. I think it's kind of advisable in this area we live, but we just want to do a whole different method of chicken keeping in the winter. I want them to be happy.
And we also have just a ton of really cool plans in line for this coop. Something I'm really excited about is how we're going to be bringing like power for like lighting to the coop, and also we're going to be using a very unique method to heating the coop, but that's all going to be later on down the road.
Yeah, that's it for now. We're calling it quits, and we're going to pick back up with this project in a few days probably, right?
Yeah, we still got a few more things to do. We've got the ceiling, painting, roosts, and chicken doors.
We got to do something about the free ranging.
Yes, so we will see you guys on the next one.
Hello everybody, this is Krusty.
Why do they call her that?
Because of her crest. Can't you tell? Oh, she was trying to go to bed in the woodshed.
Slick it back for her.
Let's give her back to the... Come on, girl. I legitimately have to go pee. I
thought you saw me.
Hey, when someone's looking at what's in front of them, the foreground, you don't look beyond the foreground.